Hi everybody, it's so nice to see you today. Welcome to Yoga with Sarah Trapani. My husband now has put his apple cider that he's turning into booze behind me, so it's just one more thing in the background. I'm so glad that you're here to join me today on the mat for this well-rounded, all levels flow practice. So let's get started, and I'll see you there. Let's go ahead and come down onto the back for today's practice, and we'll find a centering meditation. Come all the way onto the back, extending the legs out and allowing the toes to flop open so that the thigh bones gently externally rotate to whatever degree feels natural. And then let your palms face up alongside the body. And we're going to turn the face to the right as far as you feel it can go, gently without force. Then tuck and drag that left shoulder blade underneath your back. And then bring the nose back to alignment with the navel. Then turn your face as far as you feel it will go, gently without force, looking to the left, and then tuck that right shoulder blade underneath. Then draw the nose back into alignment with the navel and take a moment to tune into how you feel today, letting the floor support you. Letting the lower back sacrum, that triangular space at the lowest part of the spine, rest and point away from your chin toward the front of your mat, as if the tailbone is unfurling toward that space between the heels, opening up softness in the belly for you to expand your breathing. So when you inhale, the belly expands up and out. When you exhale, the belly gently hugs in toward the spine. So there's almost a subtle drawing in of the belly button up in between the rib cages when you exhale. And when you exhale all the way out, open your knees, bring your soles of feet together so the knees splay open, and we'll pause for a couple of breaths in Supta Baddha Konasana, that's reclined bound angle pose. Trace a line from the back of the head, along the nape of the neck, down between the shoulder blades, all the way down through the curve of your lower back, into that sacrum, and right to that tailbone that continues to unfurl toward the front of your mat. Now start to gently squeeze your knees in and bring your feet on the floor. And take a moment to sweep the arms out like a snow angel. Sweep the arms out and up overhead. And then reach the fingertips up away from your toes. Press through the feet, lift the hips and pelvis. Now we're lengthening that tailbone forward right between the knees. Breathing the chest toward the chin. Hug your knees in a little bit. And then when you exhale, roll down from the upper back slowly, one vertebrae at a time, one by one. And then allow, as you slowly melt, the arms to open into a cactus shape, bringing the elbows down about into alignment with your shoulder sockets. And lastly, laying that lower back down and then releasing the tailbone forward. Now heel toe your feet mat width distance and start to windshield wiper your knees side to side, wringing out, opening up the hips and lower back. Pausing anywhere that feels good. And while you're here, let's take a moment to consider what's your intention for practice today. What do you want to cultivate in this time on your mat? As I'm filming this, we're coming up on the holidays, so important to take this time for yourself so that you can cultivate a sense of peace, even through the hectic holidays. So go ahead and press through your left foot and hug your right knee in, give it a squeeze. Then cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. And we're going to go ahead and thread the needle coming into figure 4. And take your hands in front of your left shin if you can, or in the left knee crease. And let's take a moment to pause there, pressing that right inner knee gently away from your face and drawing that right lower back toward the ground. And you can feel free to rock gently, massaging out your back. And then we'll keep that shape of figure 4 and release the interlace, and interlace your hands now back behind your head. Am I bumping this microphone? I hope not. Interlace your hands back behind your head and just start to bring that shape of figure 4 to the left and to the right and to the left Just any amount is fine. You don't have to do too much. To the right, to the left, to the right, and extend your left foot up toward the ceiling. Hug that left thigh toward you, and then uncross and open your heels to a big V. Point your toes right away from your hips, then flex your feet, bring your soles of feet together, knees splay open. Then lift your elbows up, scoop your head. Draw your lower back into the floor and bring your knees in, pressing through your feet. Curl the tailbone toward your chin. Take that micro sit up. So we're waking up your lower belly, drawing your ribs in, then release your head back and open your arms out into a cactus. Pressing through that right foot, draw that left knee in and take your hands in front of the left shin, give a squeeze. Then cross that left ankle on top of the right thigh. Thread the left hand in between that space in your legs. Interlace your hands in front of your right shin. Flex your feet and press your lower back gently toward the ground, all while keeping your shoulders and your collarbones really soft. So take that opportunity to soften and rest the center of your throat, your chest, and you could rock a little bit there. Relax your throat, relax your jaw. Relax your forehead and eyes if you haven't already. You're letting go of tension in the day out of your face. And then go ahead and interlace the hands back behind your head. You can interlace the non-habitual awkward finger on top. And then we're going to go ahead and extend over to the right. Let the knees go over to the right a little bit. And then back to center and over to the left. Good. And just do that a couple times, resisting that right thigh into the kind of outer left ankle and pressing that left knee away, whatever amount's available, and do that a couple times. Such a great movement to open your hip and encourage that spine mobility. Very good. And we'll come back to center, extend your right heel toward the ceiling, press that left knee away, and then uncross, extend your heels straight out, coming into that V. Point your toes, flex your feet, and then go ahead and lift your elbows up. Take a happy baby shape and try to bring your elbows toward your shins as you exhale. Let your head fall back and reach for the outside edges of your feet and find that happy baby pose. Rock and massage your spine. Always return to an awareness of your breath. So we're noticing the natural flow of the breath. If you haven't already tuned into that, tune into the flow of the breath in and out of your nose. It's your anchor, it's your center, it's the place you can return to cultivate meditation and mindfulness in your practice. Now go ahead and cross your right ankle on top of the left and rock and roll until you come right up to sit. Once we come up to sit, let's roll over the knees and we'll make our way right into a downward facing dog. Here's where I'm going to wish I had a hair elastic, but I couldn't find one. So we're going to tuck the toes, send the hips toward the heels, and slide the hands forward, spreading the fingers wide. And when you're ready, lift your knees and send your hips up into downward dog. I'm going to pedal out the feet, lifting one heel at a time and sending the lower back high, right up toward the sky. And you can peek and just see that your second toes are about parallel and the outer heels start to drop toward the earth. Find to have a pretty decent bend in the knees while you find more lift through the sitting bones and pulling the thigh bones back and up. Now lift your heels, wave into plank. Hold here, lifting your belly. Then bring your knees down. When you exhale, come back to child's pose. Sending the hips toward the heels, press the hands away and slide the hands forward as much as you can. And then inhale, glide the chest through, look forward or up. Sink your hips, spread your chest, engage your gluteals. Then exhale, sweep back up to downward dog. From downward dog, stretch your right heel high for three-legged dog. Keep your left underarm lifting up so it doesn't collapse. Hinge that right knee and drag that right heel toward the left sitting bone as you lift your right knee up. We want to keep the shoulders equal and even. And we'll inhale, lift. Let's exhale, slide that right knee forward a little wider than the right wrist with the right foot flexed. And then slide that left leg straight back. Take the top of the left foot flat. Come up onto tented fingers. Squeeze the shoulder blades onto your back. Pause here in this moment of almost coming into pigeon all the way, but not, because we have an upward torso. The left hip point rolls forward. The left inner thigh lifts up into the body. And then go ahead and look up toward the sky. Squeeze those shoulder blades onto the back for a moment as you inhale into the belly. When you exhale, look down. Plant your palms into downward dog palms. Tuck the left toes and inch that left knee forward. Lift your left knee off the mat, and then using your core, lift your hips and slide that right foot back into downward dog. Now stretch that left heel high for three-legged dog. Hinge that left knee and drag that left heel toward the right sitting bone as you keep floating that right underarm up into the body and lifting that left knee slightly up. Inhale. Exhale, knee slides forward and a little wider than the hip, and glide that right leg all the way long and straight through the top of that right foot. Come up to tented fingers, broaden your collarbones, and lift your side ribs, and you can look neutral or up. Pause there in that pigeon moment, not going fully into pigeon, just finding that space between that inner left knee and the arch of your right foot, kind of moving away from each other in opposite directions. And we're going to inhale, look up, and then exhale, look down, plant your palms, downward dog hands, first fingers parallel. Tuck your back toes, inch that right knee forward, lift your right knee, lift your hips, and then step right back to downward dog again. Now from downward dog, look at your feet, walk your hands towards your feet. We're going to come into Uttanasana, standing forward fold. So shake your head out. Take your hands behind your calves for a little squeeze. And then pull the shoulder blades away from the back of your head and let your head hang. Soften your toes. And let's press through the feet. Bend the knees. Drop the tail. Gather your belly. We're going to make our way up into Utkatasana. Fierce pose. Sweep your arms right up. If it's too intense to have the arms really straight, you can always open them a little bit and soften the elbows. Depends on how your shoulders feel. You're going to fire up your legs, fire up your lower body a little bit. Just lift and spread your toes. Let the toes soften. Then start to swan dive, bringing your belly onto the thighs. Let your head hang and interlace your fingers. Bring your arms away from the back. And hang the head, bringing the chin toward your body. Gradually straightening the legs a little more. And then drop the tail slowly. We're going to come all the way up. Dropping your knuckles down, lift your chest. Inhale into your belly. Exhale, coming into neutral Tadasana, hands on the hips. We're going to turn the left toes out to about a 45. Take a big step forward with your right foot into Warrior One. So the left toes are pointing toward the upper left-hand corner of your mat. And let's sweep the arms forward and up into Warrior One. And we'll do this flow here. Straightening the front leg on the inhale, open your arms out to a T. Exhale, bend, and palms together, and press. Inhale, open, sweep open, look up. Exhale, bend, press. Inhale, sweep, open. Exhale, bend, press, reach forward, looking down at your right foot. Swim the arms back through space, reaching the hands back, palms facing the ground. And looking at your right foot, spread your right toes. Then release your hands to frame that right foot on the floor or your blocks. And drag that right sitting bone back and fold and look at your right hip. Parsvottanasana. If you can, inch your left fingertips away from that left heel quite a bit. And drop that left heel down to get into that left calf a little more possibly. And gradually as you fold, you can soften that right hand and wrist and shoulder a little more. Breathing there. Then go ahead and start to come into triangle pose. The right hand is really close to that outer right ankle on the floor or a block. Left hand's coming onto your hip. Or extend your left fingertips up to a T into that triangle moment, shoulder blades drawing together on the back, anchoring your outer left foot. And if your neck fatigues like mine kind of is today, you can look down at your right foot. There's not a lot of pressure in your right hand. The left fingertips reach toward the sky. One more inhale. Exhale, release that left hand down. Bend your right knee, swing that left heel over the toes. Touch your left knee down. And then we're going to heel toe that right foot behind the left wrist. Drop the right knee open again. We're going to come down into pigeon. This time we're coming down to rest the forehead right in the hands or on a block. The right foot is flexed, so you feel this not in your right knee, but in your outer right hip. And just come into a moment of pause and reflection, letting the space of the inhale really fill into any areas that feel tense, tight, anywhere you have pain, discomfort. Please ease out if you need to at any moment. And let your mind scan and scroll through the body slowly, down into the toes, down into the left baby toe. Think of your reason for practicing and tune into the quiet center when you're still and with your breath and noticing your body. One more moment there. Doing great so far today. And then start to drop the tail, gather the belly, slowly come on up. We're going to shift over into that outer right thigh and drag that left leg around. Let's bring that left foot to the outer right thigh and turn. So it's okay if that left butt lifts a little. We're just going to turn and take your left arm on the inside of the left knee, left thumb up, or a gentle fist, right fingers behind, and a real turn. Nothing forced. Left rib toward right rib. Gazing right. Inhale, belly. Exhale, let's unwind. Cross that left ankle in front and pull the heels toward your sitting bones. Roll over your knees. Come back through downward dog. We're going to meet in downward dog again. Good. If you really like to go through a plank pose and a chaturanga flow, you could insert that here. I'm going to skip that today. Now walk your hands towards your feet and we're going to come back into Uttanasana. Soft toes, four corners of feet rooting. Exhale out. Then press through the feet and slowly come on up. Let's turn the right toes out to about a 45. Take a big step forward with your left foot. How wide? Well, it just depends on how you feel today. If you're feeling a little more tight, a shorter stance for Warrior One will do just fine. If you're more open, more space between the heels will give you more stretch of your psoas of the right side and your right calf. So we're going to drop that left knee over the heel. When you're ready, drift your arms up, fingertips reaching up out of the hips for your Warrior One. Then flowing on that inhale, open the arms to a T. Exhale, bend, drop the tail, belly in, press. Inhale, sweep open, big open circle. Exhale, press. Inhale, sweep, open. Exhale, press. And we're going to reach forward, rooting through that right foot. Swim the arms back. Reach the fingertips back, palms facing the floor. Looking at that left foot. Feel those shoulder blades gliding together so your collarbones are broad. Then release your hands softly to frame that left foot on the floor or two yoga blocks. Then drag that left sitting bone back and fold, peeking at your left hip. Now reach your right hand away from that right heel. So we're getting a little right side body stretch, pressing through the outer right foot so we have a lift in that right arch of the foot, right up to the inner ankle, right up to the inner knee. And then less pressure in your left hand. Strong feet on the earth. Parsvottanasana. From there, we're going to come up into our triangle, left hand on the floor, block, or you could do your ankle as long as you're not hyperextending that left knee. We don't want too much pressure in that left knee joint. We are tucking that left sitting bone under the pelvis, and your right hand could be on your back, or you're going to reach your right fingertips up and look at the hand in the air. Or if your neck is really bothering you today, look down at your foot. Breathing triangle pose. Lower ribs are drawing in toward the belly to create stability. And when you inhale, reach your right fingertips up a little. Exhale, release your right hand down. Bend your left knee, swing your right heel over the toes. Touch your right knee down. Now, who remembers what we're going to do? Triangle pose. Whoops. Pigeon pose. Heel toe your left foot behind your right wrist. Then let your left knee fall open. The left knee is slightly wider than the hip. Then lay the top of that right foot down. I didn't say this on the other side, but of course, if pigeon is too much, you could take figure 4 pose on the back instead, like we did at the beginning. We're going to come down here. Rest your forehead on your hands or on the edge of a block. Take your time to come into pigeon for 3 to 5 breaths. And being still can allow some gradual release here. If you feel really tight and tense, staying and breathing smooth and steady can help you ease into it a little more. So tune your focus in and down into the body, the breath, the heartbeat, the contents of your mind and thoughts. Open and receptive and non-judgmental for what you observed today. And lingering, just another long exhale, top of the right foot all the way to the baby toe. Starts to come alive with your awareness. We'll press through the top of that right foot and start to gather the belly. We'll come on up. Shift into the outer left thigh and glide that right leg around. Slide your right foot to the outer left thigh. And you turn. You take your right arm on the inside of the knee and right thumb up or a little fist today. Left tented fingers, real subtle. Turn the right rib toward the left rib and expand your belly on the inhale. Exhale, you could turn a little more. Then we'll come back. Cross that right ankle in front of the left. Lean forward. And then rock back. Bring your feet on the ground. Thumbs up. Make your way down to the back. And we're arriving on the back again. Coming onto the back and letting the floor cradle your back body. Bring your soles of feet together, let the knees splay open just for a moment, because this helps to bring the femur bones in a nice position into the pelvis. Then squeeze the knees together and you feel those femur bones fall right into the hip sockets, the thigh bones dropping right into the hip sockets nicely. Good. And then we're going to take the arms alongside the body, palms facing up, one bridge pose, peeling the shoulders underneath. Root through the feet, lift up the hips. Find that bridge pose any amount you're able to. Dragging the shoulders away from the base of the skull. Lifting your hip points. Soft toes, inhale, breathe the chest toward the chin. Exhale, roll down very gently. Rolling down, upper back, middle back, lower back melting last of all. Then heel toe your feet mat with distance, knock your knees in to touch. Give your feet a nice press in a way that massages from the feet right up to the crown. And then rest your hands on your rib cage. And we'll take our final meditation here in a constructive rest moment. Who couldn't use some rest, some rejuvenation, and an opportunity to be in your own inner sanctuary so the rest of the world falls away throughout your yoga practice, and especially now in this meditation? What insights or wisdom are available in the quiet space of your meditation? Are there joints that feel clenched that are able to soften and dissolve, letting go into the flow of all things? trusting your healthy body, trusting your own innate capabilities, your own inner wisdom and guide are always available in your yoga practice and throughout your day if you tune in. That quiet, calm center. The flow of the breath rising and falling, we start to invite compassion for this form and all that is right now. Remember any intention you had for today. And start to slowly windshield wiper your knees and think of what you have to be grateful for. Find your gratitude practice. Let it help uplift and change your energy, even if just for a moment or two. When you're ready, roll over to either side. You can give yourself a hug first, and then make your way all the way up to sit, moving really thoughtfully. Finding yourself again in a comfortable upright seat, thanking yourself for showing up, and I thank you and wish you joy, peace, health, strength, courage, and always trust on the journey. Namaste. So grateful for your being with me on this YouTube journey. I'm about 7 months into this channel and it's growing, and I appreciate every comment, every like, super thanks, subscribe. It's all very helpful to me and helps me continue promoting yoga to more people whenever possible. I hope that everyone's doing well, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.